Right, good morning. Day 2 of the Bird River trip. Another nice day, mild, bit overcast, perfect for photography again. Anyway, walking down to Kelly Basin, i.e. Macquarie Harbour, following the railway formation down. It's only a bit over 5 k's. So yeah, we'll see what's en route to photograph, and just found this nice vista across the river of some man ferns and beautiful forest, and yeah, just give you an idea of what it looks like. Yeah, for our New Zealand counterparts, pungas is what they're called. I still find myself calling them that. Yeah. Lovely spot. Just to give you an idea of the railway formation that you walk along. A bit dark in here, but here's the brakes. I think that's the native laurel. There's white flowers when it flowers. And I think there's a similar plant in New Zealand I remember from my younger days over there. Just found this little spot off the down from the track. There's a beautiful little eddy swirling around, and yes, some rather large rocks. One of those places where you end up with a log jam, which there is on the other side of these rocks. So yeah, magic little spot this one. Definitely needs a photo taken. Here's the eddy there. Incredibly steep, sheer, vertical rock faces rising up. Yeah, so probably spend a few minutes here taking some photos. Just show you setting up the shot, give you an idea of how difficult shots are sometimes. Just to give you an idea of the shot I've been trying to capture, just with the swirling eddy. Yeah, very difficult. Right, I'm down at Pillinger, or what's left of it. As you can see, the bushes rapidly taking over the few remaining buildings and what have you. Yes, and I'm now at the remains of the brickworks, where they used to make the bricks for the township of Crotty, which is now submerged under Lake Burbury. Yeah, I never knew that they made the bricks and carted them on the railway back to Crotty. So yeah, there's a picture of the foundations for the brickworks, which is where I am at the moment. Afterwards we'll go down and I'll show you the old jetty down there. So yeah, this is the last person left here in 1943. They dismantled the whole town and removed all the stuff that could be removed. So these are the brickworks, or what's left of them. Yeah. Very peaceful. Right, another ruin of the brickworks. Looks like an old boiler in here. Well, the remains of one anyway. Look at that. Wow. Remarkably good nick. And something else. Beautiful bush here with all the ferns underneath. I'm around at another boiler with an interpretive sign provided by Parks. Yes, quite interesting, the background. This is a different boiler to the other one I just showed you. They say in the notes that these were originally boilers were designed for steamships and later adapted for use on land. So yeah, that gives an idea of the history, and also talk about the single row of rivets. Evidently it was later, or about the same time, it was decided that 2 rows of rivets were required on boilers, more of a safety issue. Of course they don't know why people of Pillinger used the single row riveted boilers. Perhaps they were cheaper there, who knows, we'll never know. But anyway, sitting quietly in the bush, remnants of a bygone age. All part of Tasmania's history though, and it's good that Parks have actually spent some money doing interpretive signage about other things apart from nature and landforms and vegetation. It's good that they are recording the human aspect. Probably do with a lot more of this, but don't get me started on that. It's very dark in here, but this is the remains of one of the railway carriages, rapidly being reclaimed by the vegetation. Yeah, bit of a shame really. Then you always get the buffoons that have got to emblazon their names or other irrelevant crap. Yeah, tomorrow's history, people. Well, it's today's history really. Right, we'll just wander down to the jetty. Still see the remains of the old railway irons. This is where it actually came down to the jetty. There it is out there. Originally went for some 800 metres. Right, I'm sort of about halfway along the track back to the Bird River Bridge and my campsite. And on the way out to Pillinger I heard this waterfall and could see it from the track and thought, oh, on my way back I'm going to come down here and have a look. Very steep to get to, but yeah, alright. Very specky. Yeah, I'll show you what I can see right now. Yeah, going to take some photos here. We'll just go out onto the knoll here. People always want to have a closer look. Being a bit careful not to damage any of the vegetation. Yeah, the Bird River. Stick it on your bucket list, peoples. Definitely not to be missed. Not publicised a lot either, which is good. But a lot of people miss out on it when they visit Tasmania. Right, back at camp. Had a good walk down to Pillinger. Yeah, cup of tea, well earned, and just thought I'd ruminate on a few other things regarding bushwalking and what have you. I'll show you my tent, and this is one of my mini tents. This is another one that I don't use as much now because it's a bit heavy. Given the lighter weight tents that you can certainly purchase today. But yeah, 15-20 years ago this was the go. I'll just show you what it is. It's a Scottish tent made by a company called Vango. It's got the cross pole with a large vestibule which is about the same size as the inner tent. So yeah, plenty of room to store your pack, your boots and what have you. Some smelly socks there on the ground. But yeah, plenty of guy points to peg it out in the wind. Haven't really had it in a strong wind, but the joy with this tent is when the weather is bad, you can even do the whole thing up and actually cook in the annex. So it's marvellous for that, and I'm a great devotee of tents where the annex is beside you, as opposed to tunnel tents where it's up at your head. The side vestibules are much easier for cooking, and I find them, yeah, much better than a tunnel tent. Tunnel tents are supposedly stronger in the wind, but yeah, that's a matter for opinion. But yeah, this tent you can certainly peg out to protect it from any wind. So no, it's been a good tent. The fly hasn't started to degrade from UV, which is always a problem in Tasmania over time. The ultraviolet just murders tent flies. So yeah, that's the tent. I'm just not far from the bridge and the railway formation. Nice and private. And yeah, heading back to Hobart tomorrow after a very productive photographic and walking trip. No, thoroughly recommend the Bird River for those that haven't been here. It is one of Tasmania's hidden gems, it really is. And perhaps not being publicised means that the place hasn't become trampled with the hordes, so it makes it a bit more special. But yes, if you're coming to the West Coast, go through Queenstown and up over the Duke's Road, which will take you to the bottom end of Lake Burbury, and the road continues on from there right down to the Bird River. So yeah, well worth a visit. Right, here we are on the last day, heading for home, following the old railway formation. Yeah, back to the Duke's Road. Beautiful bit of forest, as you can see probably out the window. Yeah, top trip. Got some what I think are reasonable shots, but of course the proof's in the pudding when you look at them on the computer at home. So yeah, be very interested in that. Might even post a few on the proverbial internet. Yes, trips coming up. Next one is in a fortnight's time, to kayak trip this time to the Gordon River. We'll be catching one of the cruise boats from Strawn up as far as it goes on the Gordon, and we'll offload the kayaks and all our gear, and then we'll spend the next 6 days paddling up the river and try and get up the Franklin River where it joins the Gordon. So that's going to be a very interesting trip. Yeah, there'll be how many of us going? 5 of us going. So yes, expect a few video diaries. No doubt lots of hilarity, lots of footage, and yeah, well, an epic trip. Never done anything like that one before, so that's going to be great. Apart from that, perhaps a sojourn to part of the Western Arthur Range with Sam at Easter, and possibly a winter overland track trip, which is the best time to do the overland. You get the place to yourself, hardly any people, and snow just makes it. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. Well, that's it for another trip from the Tassie Wilderness Wanderers. Well, there's only one of us on this trip. Okay, till next time.